a nation of infiltration. That's the worst thing ever, my man. You never want your nation to be infiltrated, all right? Ask the Negroes, okay? These Negroes don't know that in reality, you are not black people. You're your own kind of people with your own complexions and your own color. Number one, the word black people didn't exist even 100 years ago. They made that up. You know what I'm saying? Black people really don't exist. Every African nation calls themselves by whatever name or land they live in. For instance, Nigerians, South Africans, Egyptians, Sudanese, and Negroes. Yeah, Negroes is their own people too. See, when you start putting everybody under one umbrella of you guys are all blacks, now these other blacks can infiltrate these other blacks because they all think they're brethren. But guess what? They're not brethren. They're not brothers, all right? Check this out. A Jewish man is not an Italian man. They're two different nations. And the Jewish people cannot go up in Italy and infiltrate and take over and do this and do that without the Italians' consent. All right? Same thing if you look at Chinese, Japanese, or Philippines, whatever you want to look at. You know what I'm saying? You can't be out here infiltrating other people regardless of color. Now, here's another thing. They say, well, we're all blacks. We're brothers, right? That's like all black dogs saying, hey, we're all black dogs. I'm a black German Shepherd and he's a black French Poodle. We're all the same. Guess what? They're not all the same. They got different designs and they're different in every way, form, and fashion. So if you're going by colors, then you're following the next man's bullshit perception, all right? It's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? There's no such thing as colored men, all right? Every nation has a name. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear the Asians saying, yo, we're all yellow men. You don't hear the Japanese and Chinese, yo, we're yellow men. Know what I'm saying? Nah, you don't hear that. You only hear that mostly in America to deceive you slave descendants. Too bad. You slave descendants are easily deceived. And you lost your name. Your name was Negro. At least for a few hundred years it was. You know what I'm saying? They took that away and started calling you black Americans, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And now comes the confusion. You guys are in trouble now. Know why? Because there are other people that call themselves black too. They live in your neighborhoods and they can't stand you. All right? They hate you worse than the Ku Klux Klan. But you want to say, hey, they my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Going all out for Africa. Guess what? Did you see the movie Roots? The Africans sold you to the white man. All right? They were your enemies over there and they're your enemies over here. All right? Guess what? Puerto Ricans dress like niggas, right? Chinese dress like niggas now. Everybody dressing like a nigga now. Africans dress like niggas too right now. And guess what? The Africans, you say, well, they don't have no African accent. You want to know why? because the white man brought them over here in the 1930s. Your grandmother would probably remember the first Africans that came over, not with chains on ships, but came over maybe on planes or maybe on ships, but without chains. All right? The white man brought them here to incorporate them into your neighborhoods. Know why? Because, white men want to look civil now. They don't want to look like slave masters. So, what do? They say, hey, we got to free the niggas. But you know what? Let's not make them totally free. Let's bring some other people over here that's near their complexions. And let's start calling them, instead of niggas and Negroes, let's call them blacks. What we'll do is we'll send these people who can't stand them, these people who actually sold them to us, you know what I'm saying, people who they were warring with when they were in the regions of Africa. We're going to send them people and put them in their neighborhoods. All right? So all those people are in your neighborhoods now. They're third generation, fourth generation. They speak just like you and walk just like you and talk just like you. If you want, you can search the Bible and it'll tell you there are false brethren out there. All right? People that act like they're brothers, but they're not. They'll put you in perils. When you find that scripture, you'll see it closely resembles you. So to you slave descendants, that's what I had to let you know today. You want to keep loving the other man because he got the same complexion, but guess what? He can't stand you. And you want to know another thing? Black on black crime is not niggas killing niggas. Black on black crime is Africans killing niggas and niggas killing Africans. Because we be having to defend ourselves against these hateful people. So listen, here's another thing I'm going to throw out there for you guys. Only 10% of the people on the planet are slave descendants. Well, let me say this. Only 10% of the black people on the planet are slave descendants. The other 90% of black people on the planet, they don't like you. They don't like the 10%.